Hello there and welcome to my review for Shogun Showdown. In this video I want to give you an answer about whether or not this game is as good as the reviews say. It's been freshly released in 1.0, the reviews give it an overwhelmingly positive feedback, and that in more than 1,000 reviews. While I'm recording this, it's 2,000 and something. So is this game as good as the reviews say? We're going to go over what it is, the good, the bad, and the summary. First of all, what do we have here? It is a game that is a turn-based roguelite. It's about combat. You have your attacks here. There's a description what they do, and they have a cooldown. They can be upgraded. You can unlock new abilities and new attacks, passive skills that will enhance your build. There's a set of consumables, node-based travel, where you decide whether you go for this area or that area, shops in between to amplify your deck and build. Well, we have seen that quite a lot, and it's a very, very potent and reliable formula. That's what I can say. The game has a cooldown system, like I said, so no mana or other resources, and the game plays a lot around movement in combat. So combat is working like, well, I have to show you. So any enemy that shows up will announce his attack. You see what they want to do. That's my attack. I attack. Now I see it's quibbling, and I know it's a frontal attack. I go one step backwards. I dodge. I ready an arrow. His friend appears to block the arrow for him. I take my other attack. I skip a turn. I slice him apart. This game relies a ton about knowing what your enemy will do and dodging it then in time and applying your cooldowns smartly. It has a really, really large amount of different cool things that you can pull off. You will find consumables during combat. Constantly the enemies will respawn, and as you see there, if you don't manage to dodge in time, you're going to catch a stab. The cool part about this game is, insofar that the combat system is very innovative, but more about that in the summary part, in the good part. Altogether, we have here a very well-known formula in front of us, where we get to select new skills in between, we can upgrade them, and, well, by now, if you've played anything like Slay the Spire in the past few years, I'm pretty sure that you already are familiar with what is happening here. So, what's so good about this game is the first question. So, first of all, the soundtrack and the art style are coming together really, really well. I want to get that out of the discussion as a very first thing, because, you know, I don't overvalue aesthetics, but I don't want to undersell them either. This game does a really, really good job at looking really, really nice. The gameplay itself is very satisfying. That is the very first thing that I want to point down. Killing enemies in this game like that is just very, very satisfying. You have all the way meaningful choices. Combat is not just a mathematical equation. You get to dodge, you get to know what the enemy does. The enemy attacks are all pronounced. You can always check out what they do. This leads to a very fair and balanced gameplay where you have the feeling that what you're doing when you're thinking and trying to outsmart your enemies, it actually does pay out, you know? You have something from that. But as you see there, I'm getting here quite a lot of damage in. That is because while I'm talking, I'm really playing horrible, and as you see there, it's not that easy when you're not paying attention. The good thing about it is it has a gameplay though when you are not distracted by talking or anything else. Once you know how it works, you really get into it and it becomes easier and better, and yeah, that is a really, really good thing. This is mostly because this game has a very, very good enemy and level design. The enemies are growing on you over time. You don't get flooded with new abilities. Everything gets introduced bit by bit. This is a really, really good thing. And what I really appreciate the most about this game, it's one of those roguelites where you are allowed to play it through right from the get-go. You don't need those upgrades. You don't need those extra skills. As a matter of fact, on my third attempt, when I started to understand how the game worked, I immediately won my first run with just the starting skills. I haven't unlocked anything, and I was very, very happy about that, because that means this game wants you to win. It wants to give you new options, new toys. It wants to keep you busy longer with it, not the way I had it with several worse roguelites, where you were living eventually under the impression that the game needs you to do those unlocks to actually get something done. This is not the case with this game, not at all. You can win it right from the get-go. All you need is gameplay understanding, and I really, really love that. This is one of the things that I really, really can't stress out how good I think this is, because roguelites have this sort of a problem where they can be hard to win if you haven't unlocked enough stuff. So well done on that end. And another thing, the skills are really fun. I mean, currently you can't see too much about it, but you can do a lot of really, really cool things with the skill system. You can upgrade them very, very interestingly. You can select a very, very wide amount of different skills, and in combination with all the consumables that you got, this leads to a very simple but effective way of deck building that I've been astonished about how well it works. You know, the game works with no numbers, but meaningful choices. So for example, here I can amp up the damage by a lot, but the skill won't be available as often. So I'm choosing this here, for example, for my lightning skill, which is my far-range artillery skill. I'm okay with that. It can now nuke 80% of the enemies. Good job. So that is something. Altogether, the whole package is just extremely well glued together, and it's a lot of fun to get into it. I enjoyed my time so much with this game, not only while learning it, but also while mastering it, or getting better at it, because I just got into it. It just feels kinetic, and it just feels good to outsmart the enemy and to use movement skills and all those things to shove enemies to the spot where you were a moment before and let them eat the attack that was just aimed at you. Good stuff. Seriously, I can't recommend it enough. I really like what this game does in terms of gameplay flow. Decisions that you make, upgrades that you can make, passive skills, it's all really, really well balanced together. Nothing bad about that. But what is bad about it? So there are only a few things about Shogun Showdown that I really, really didn't like. For one, basically this is a PB and Jello sandwich, and if you like it, you love it, because it's a very well made peanut butter and Jello sandwich. But in case you're allergic to it, you will hate it. And okay, enough of that analogy. This thing is just a game that serves so many well-known tropes since Slay the Spire that I gotta say, it doesn't invent anything, but what it does it so darned well. For example, here I lured one of the enemies into an attack that was originally aimed at me. So sure, game works with tons of elements that you know from other deck builders and combat turn-based roguelites, yes. That is in one regard a bad thing, but you know, if you're looking for a big innovation or anything, besides the combat, there's not much. The combat system, although, I gotta say, is really, really something special. I gotta say the devs of that game here did something special with the combat system. I was surprised about how fun it was once I got behind it, as it really uses minimalism very, very well, but apart from that, there is not much new about this game. So if you played one of these games and you are craving for something new, you will like this game. But if you are already tired of the Slay the Spire formula, you probably won't like this game so much. That is basically the biggest criticism that I have to make. Apart from that, I have really tried to think about a lot of things that I could criticize here where the game falls flat for me, but I was just a little bit unable to. That is quite impressive, because I'm usually really good at snooping out bad things about games and being pissed about little things and being nitpicky and everything. That's basically my job. But in case of this game, no. It's just a lack of innovation besides the combat system, and well, it's just more of the stuff that we've been playing the last few years. But apart from that, it's excellent made. It's a wonderful experience, and I think it's time to go into the summary. So, summarized, this game offers a really good breed of minimalistic gameplay, art style, roguelite action, good combat, meaningful choices, cool enemies, a good cool art style, a lot of skills that you really got to get your head into how to work with them. But once you know what you want to do with them, they're really cool. That's really something I appreciate a lot about this game. It's also easy to pick up. I'm failing around here a lot while I'm talking too much, so I can't focus, but seriously, it is not hard. This game can be learned quite quickly. The biggest challenge with it is at some point no longer to survive, but to make cool combos and get extra points and such for combo effects, because there is a big reward for comboing down your enemies. So yeah, there's altogether. It's easy to get into the game, but there's really a lot to master behind it, and that is really what I like. And I've been talking about the combat system a lot, and I want to repeat it. It is unique and simple, and it's really good at what it does. It doesn't flounce around big numbers, and it doesn't make me do complicated math in my head to get over it. The challenges are cool. The first difficulty level is easy to beat, then it spices itself up with more challenges behind that. Yeah, it's a really well-made game, and I'm super surprised to see that out of an early access again, because that's what early access should be, right? So yeah, full-on recommendation from my end. Shogun Showdown is amazing if you like these kind of games. Don't expect this game to invent the wheel new for you. That's something it can't do, but it's some jolly good strategic fun if you are into that. You'll be not disappointed. Bonus points if you are into Eastern stuff, then this game even serves much better, because it's just full of fun and kung fu. So, I have nothing more to say besides thanks for watching, my friends. I hope you had a good time with this review. Feel free to let me know what you think about Shogun Showdown. Leave it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and there's a lot of good stuff in the description box. Feel free to support the channel financially if you feel like my work is worth a dime to you. It would really mean a lot to me. Many thanks to all the supporters of Icon Gaming, and many thanks to you for watching this video. I'm really appreciating you, and I hope you're coming back for some more stuff. See you there, and have a good time. Bye-bye.